right. Good morning, Denver, Colorado. Joe Rico, Alex Ramirez. The final word live from number 38. It is a hangover Sunday. Nuggets lose. Avs lose. Broncos do nothing in free agency. Thank God for your Colorado Spartans and our good friend Tony Thompson, Fred Shaw, and Paxton Lynch. Yeah, he gets his first win in the NAL as the starting quarterback. Good morning to my partner for the last 14 years now, El Guapo Suavecito Caballero, number 66 in your program, number 1 in your hearts, Alejandro Ramirez. How you doing, El Guapo?
Good morning, Joe. How are you, buddy?
Man, I'm blessed, man. This is kind of a cold day. We've had a lot of nice weather, but not so much today. But it looks like it's going to be hot by the time we get off the air.
Well, hopefully. Here's the thing is, I was at Jimmy Suds the other day, and we went to dinner, and one of the things he said, he's like, Alex, I'm like, how's business, Jimmy? He said, Alex, I need moisture. All these cars are all clean.
You got it.
We need some kind of water. We need some kind of,
I love it.
Anything. And just to get these cars.
We brought it in. We got it, Alex. You got it.
And we got a little bit, but it's not a lot. It's not enough, Joe.
No, we need more. Well, and drought, fire season. I mean, that's all looking around the corner here in Colorado. But hey, let's talk about some positive stuff. Sure. Colorado sports. You've got the Colorado Avalanche, despite the loss to Winnipeg yesterday. They're right there in the thick of things. The Denver Nuggets, yeah, they've had some tough losses, but look, man, they have been right there.
Ryan Blackburn just put out something about a few hours ago. Denver Nuggets suffer an inexplicable loss to the Los Angeles Lakers.
Let me just say this, and I love Ryan Blackburn and great for him, but here's my opinion on it, okay? If these guys were losing by 30 points, and getting their butt kicked, all right, and it was a joke, and we've seen that, right? Last year, this team wasn't going anywhere. We all knew that in the back of our heads. Look, man, these are great basketball games. I'm a fan of the NBA basketball game. Just like Nick loves baseball. That's how much I love basketball. And when I think that makes a good dynamic. But what I'm saying is, let me just finish this, and I want to get your opinion, please. When you see the Joker's back healthy, sprinting the floor again, he's not grabbing his knee. When you see Jamal Murray had a crap night yesterday, okay, great. But the night before, they come back from 20 down in San Antonio
without Wemby.
Yeah, without Wemby. But so what? The Spurs were 11-4 without Wemby prior to that game. So they've won a lot of games without Wemby. So the point I'm making is, man, I got to give Jamal Murray at 39 in that game. I give him a pass for one bad game. This has been his best year ever. Look, I'm not off the Nuggets bandwagon. As a matter of fact, I'm more encouraged that they're right there with these teams. And by the way, Peyton Watson, a guy who had 30 points in 3 or 4 games this year,
I get it.
He's coming back next Friday. And that one extra defensive dude, they need him because, man, and Luka pushed off, by the way. That was a clear push off by Luka Doncic. I mean, I know you're not going to get that call, but come on, man. And then he throws his hands up. I hate the Lakers. I'll always hate the Lakers.
Hey, listen, Joe.
Punk.
14 games remain on the schedule.
Right? Yeah.
As I looked at this morning, I think there was 6th or 7th. Yeah, there's 6th or 7th in the standings.
Nuggets are 7th in the standings. They're one of the top 6 teams that have already clinched a playoff spot.
Correct. So with that being said, we look at this next 14 games, and there's 3 teams, 7, 6, and 5 that had the same record. Maybe a half game separates all those 3 teams, whatever. These games are important to come up, right? I mean, I would hate the fact that the Nuggets went into they just.
Well, Nuggets are in the 6th seed. First of all, they're not in the 7th seed. They're 6th.
Yeah, they're sitting 6th.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is the 7th seed is the Phoenix Suns. They're game and a half back, and that's the play.
Is there a chance that the Nuggets don't go in the playoffs, or maybe?
They're going to make the play no matter what.
They're making the playoffs. They've already clinched the playoffs.
They've already a play in. Now let's define that. They haven't clinched a playoff. They've clinched a play in spot. 7 through 10.
Well, they've clinched a postseason.
Right. There you go. Perfect. As far as the playoffs, they're in the 6th seed, but it's just like Alex said. Now, you know how far they are out of the 3 seed? A game and a half. So that could change in the snap of the fingers. This is a very tight, contested. And by the way, I'm not expecting the Nuggets to get a lot of calls in Los Angeles. But come on, man. I mean, it's a complete joke. By the way, Lakers with 42 win, Rockets, Nuggets, and Timberwolves all with 41. I mean, this thing's going to go down to the wire. I'm not giving up on the Nuggets. I refuse to do that.
I never said.
No, I didn't say you were, but I'm not. I'm in it I think these guys could challenge and could be a sleeper team in the playoffs. I think this team could go all the way to the Western Conference Finals, maybe even the NBA Finals.
I mean, if you look at it like how you're looking at it, Joey, I look at the Nuggets right now as a team that's still trying to get healthy.
Yeah.
They're trying to get their pieces back together. They're trying to get everybody going. Christian Brown, finally, come on, man. You got paid. You got the bag. Let's go.
He didn't play well last night. I'll tell you that.
Cam Johnson's on
there's a guy. He's been playing a lot better, man.
But Cam Johnson's been on the milk carton.
No, that's wrong, man. I'm sorry, man. In the past week, now I agree with you before that, but in the past 6 games, the Nuggets, listen to me, man. He had 5 3-pointers last night, okay? I'm not trying to be rude or whatever, but is that Daniel? You said, I don't know, you're trying to shout out. Your boy Daniel? Yeah, but anyways, so listen to me, man. I watch the games religiously, okay? Cam Johnson is back.
What game were you guys at?
We were at the, what was it? It was the Rockets game. And let me just tell you that they blew Houston out by 30. But let me tell you about Cam Johnson. This week, man, he's back. This is the guy everybody thought the Nuggets were getting. He's had 4 or 5 threes every game this week. He's back. And if he comes through, who played bad is Christian Brown. But that's because he's coming off an injury too, man. These guys, like you said, Alex, I think you said it best. It's a team still trying to get healthy. Peyton Watson comes back next week, Friday, from what I understand. And now you got a full squad of players again. And they're going to have David Adelman, by the way. Let's be honest. He's a first-year coach. I think he's doing a good job. I'm not hating on him. But I think that you learn some stuff in your first real year. There's a difference between 3 games, right, and 58 games. He's a real coach now, and he's made some mistakes. I think David Adelman has definitely made some mistakes down there. I mean, as all of them would, right?
He's a legacy, Joe. His dad, Rick Adelman, was just an amazing coach. And I think
he's a good coach.
He's learned a lot. From his dad, and he's been on
I think he's learned a lot this year too.
Yeah, Mike Malone taught him a lot too. But here's the thing: I think the Nuggets need to find some kind of balance when it comes down to what they are about. What's their identity at this point with 14 games to go? Like you guys said, either than the 6th and the 7th seed. I mean, can they really make a lot of improvement? They're not going to get to the 2nd seed. San Antonio's got that. So
no, it's 1 and 2 are done. They're not going to get the 2nd seed. But let me just say this: they don't need the 2nd seed. The 3rd seed, they're a game and a half back. Now, do I think they need to get a top 4 seed and get the first round bye or get the first round home court advantage?
At least that.
Absolutely. I think that's very, very important. But let me just say this: they have the best record in the Western Conference on the road. So if you are going to have a year where you're a lower seed, if you're a 5 or a 6. I don't have a problem with that. I do think you don't want to drop in the playoff tournament because anything can happen in 1-game scenario. You don't want to be. You don't want to be in that. But I don't think they will be. They're a game and a half up on Phoenix currently for the play-in spot.
We always call from the preps to the pros. Real quick, I got to respond to a couple of messages I just received from Green Mountain High School. The Lady Green Mountain Rams lost last night.
Final 4
in the state championship game.
State championship.
Lutheran.
Sorry, Lady Rams.
33-27. So hey, but great season,
year,
ladies, and Van Davis. Everybody has reached out right now. It is what it is, and so hey,
nice run,
great season.
Nice run, guys.
You didn't do it.
Nice run, ladies.
It's okay.
Nice run, ladies. And let me just say this too. I think that it's always fun. We'll always cover youth and prep sports. I mean, I'm not going to go on and on about my kid, but when you have a kid who's playing sports, you learn to love the local sports, the prep sports, the youth sports. And I can tell you right now, there's a lot of great programs, Green Mountain being one of them. Holy Family, great program. Lots of great youth teams. And hey, get out and support your local kids, whether it's your high school, your middle school. Go out and watch these kids play, man. It means a lot to them. Hey, all right, let's talk a little bit about your Colorado Avalanche. They, as Nick has posted, 1-1 on their little road trip, and they got goalied last night. I mean, Connor Ellenbach, that's the USA goalie who won the Olympic gold medal. That guy's on a roll right now, and the Jets are well back in the playoffs chase. But Nick, just because you're a baseball guy, you watch a little hockey here and there. I will say this: I don't think that a hot goalie in hockey is a great equalizer. There's been a lot of runs. I remember the Kings; they had that Quick guy, Jonathan Quick, and he stole the cup for the Kings from the 8th seed, and then a couple years later, he stole another one. I think the Kings were a 7 or 8 seed again. So I don't think seeding's that important in hockey. Also, Scott Wedgwood, the Avalanche goalie, he's moved past Mackenzie Blackwood, definitely, as far as the number 1 goalie. His goals against, he's just definitely been the better goalie. Your guys' thoughts, and I know, Alex, this isn't your deal, but changing the goalie, the number 1 goalie, is kind of a big deal this late in the year.
It's in my wheelhouse, Joey. Nazem Kadri, a couple days ago, He scored his first, a goal with the Avalanche when Nathan McKinnon had a 4-point night. Why does that matter? I mean, that matters a lot. And right now, these games right now, yes, after the Olympic Games and the Avalanche are finally coming back into their own skin. And I think now that the team is moving forward in a really positive direction, I think that the Avs right now, in my opinion, are the team in Colorado that has the closest chance to win a world championship. Not the Nuggets. I think the Avalanche are the ones that might be leading the way to have a new another parade in the city.
I got another team that might be on that list, and that is the Colorado Spartans, but we'll talk more about that at 11:30. As far as the Denver Broncos, I would say disappointing would be the only way.
Why would you say that?
Categorize this last week, and I didn't expect the Broncos. I wasn't looking for a break the bank move.
We didn't have a free agency.
Look, I understand. I wasn't looking for a break the bank move. Okay. But there were a few players that I was hoping, a few positions that I was hoping the Broncos might address. And look, man, I mean, they did the right thing by signing their own guys. They went 14-3 with these guys. They believe in these guys. I understand. But I hope they address, and I hope there's a trade. I think the Broncos need at least one more playmaker on the offensive side of the ball. And I don't think I'm alone in saying this. I mean, I'll ask you guys. I'll start with Nick. I mean, you're not a little bit worried they didn't address the playmaker situation? Do you think there's a trade in mind? Do you think they've got 9 draft picks? Do they think they're going to run and find these guys in the draft? Why wouldn't you? I mean, all we heard about is the caps, no cap hit from Russell. They saved $85 million, blah, blah, blah. Greg Penner said, we're going to be aggressive. I heard they were in on Travis Etienne. That's not big news. Your thoughts, Nick, on why they didn't bring in anybody else on the outside?
I think they're looking at this from a different perspective. They know what they need, and we're going to stomp our feet and demand change right away. But with the number of draft picks that they have and the amount of cap space that they have, I wouldn't be surprised if one of these free agents was brought on just as a trade piece, along with some draft picks to get what you need or what you want to fill a hole with.
Ox?
I think the Denver Broncos are and Sean Payton are so arrogant that we went 14-3. We were 1/2 away from going to the Super Bowl. We have our players. We re-signed all 17 guys that didn't.
And they did.
And they did. They signed them all back.
Yep.
And
even Jaleel McLaughlin, I didn't think he'd be on the team. They just signed him.
But it's funny is when they say, and even the national people are like, well, they did reach out to AJ Brown. They did reach
Travis
out to
Etienne,
and they did the snap.
HCN or whatever.
At the end of the day,
whatever he calls himself.
Yeah, you might have done that. And I think what happens is now with George Payton, after he made that ridiculous deal with Russell Wilson, they're so careful about how they want to spend their money.
Yeah.
And I think they're being very careful and diligent about how they do that. So if they're going to do it, they want to make sure that the player that they're getting with that kind of money that they're going to be dishing out, because like you said, Joe, Russell Wilson's off the books. Money's there. They can do it a lot. The Raiders spent over like $100 million in guaranteed money.
Yeah.
And
they spent about 8 players deep and got Max Crosby back.
Well, they got, but that's another conversation
for now.
For now. But listen,
you never know.
When you guys look at that situation, like the Broncos are not 5-6 players away. How I look at it is, well, they got their pieces. They just got to improve the pieces that they have. And that's what Sean Payton glaringly said in this free agency. I was waiting for something to happen, a big splash on Monday, something, the tampering period. Nothing happened. Nothing. Like, did we miss free agency? Did we not? Were we not participating? The Denver Broncos were the only team in the NFL
that didn't sign anyone from the outside.
Sign anybody outside the organization.
Yep. Well, I'm going to say this.
Is that a cause for concern?
Well, let me just say that yes, because here's the problem. Whenever you think that, so you stayed the same. And I think everybody else got a little better. You think the Buffalo Bills didn't get better? The Raiders didn't get better? The Chiefs got a heck of a lot better. Look, at some point you have to, and I think arrogance is a fair word, that, you have to just look at yourself honestly and say, look, man, we need a big play guy, a guy that on offense, you know, even if your quarterback's down, that you can throw a screen pass to and he'll take it 75 yards, or that you can pitch the ball on a pitch. And, you know, I remember Terrell Davis, and I understand that's a big comparison, but I'm just thinking of Clinton Portis, just different guys that the Broncos have had here that could just change the game on one play. And they don't have anybody like that on offense.
No,
so until they do, I think you're gonna be at a standstill. And I don't think just signing your own guys again and hoping for this big thing, this big improvement. I mean, I don't know, man. I think, what are you going to expect from Bo Nix? I mean, do you think he's going to get, how much better is Bo Nix going to be if you didn't give him any other weapons other than Adam Troutman again? You've got the same guys. I mean, how's Evan Ingram? I mean, are they going to change the way? Is Davis Mills calling plays? Is this what you're betting on? I don't know, man, but I think you get yourself a grade from me of a D- in free agency, because you did absolutely nothing.
You can't grade anything, Joey.
Well, if they did nothing, I'm going to give them a D-.
Right,
they did nothing.
I mean, if they're building up for some kind of weird,
now that's different. Well, I'll change my grade then.
Then let's change that up. But at this time right now, as of right now,
you want to give them an incomplete then?
an incomplete.
All right, incomplete. Yeah. They're incomplete. We'll see what happens during the draft and if a trade is up their sleeve. All right, let's talk a little bit about our lineup. We start with, in my mind, the best tequila man in the business, Bill Foss from Suavecito Tequila. He's not only a great tequila guy, he is an amazing college basketball and pro basketball analyst. And Bill, being a coach himself and a player of sports,
great perspective.
He knows his games probably like nobody else. And like you always like to say, he overlooks all three stadiums in his beautiful home, and he gets to see the pulse and the vibe of the city. We'll talk to him about the Nuggets' tough loss, the Avs loss, and a little bit about the opening day for the Colorado Rockies. Look, whether they're going to be good or not, it's a big party. Big shout out to your dad, Miguel Ramirez Sr. Saying a big shout out. And also $125 million for 5 years.
Can you read what my dad said?
Yeah, adelante. Chabalones, saludos.
You know what that means?
I mean, it means hello. Salute. It means hello. Tell it. No, what does it mean exactly? No.
Well, you were right on the first part.
It means hello. Hi, guys.
Hey, great job.
Salute.
Keep doing what you're doing, guys. That's all it means. But that's a great comment. That's great. Thanks, Dad.
Well, the other thing is, there was a comment, and I can't see who it was from because it got scrolled up. But anyway, the guy was saying that there's $125 million for 5 years for Christian Brown. He's a mid defender, and he had some wide open looks. I agree with you. He's got to knock 2 or 3 of those down. It changes the game. If he even knocks one of them down, that game doesn't go into overtime. And when they leave you open like that in basketball, I mean, it sucks when your guy can't hit it.
You know what sucks, man, is when
they're daring him to shoot. You can't make it. Wide open.
Within 1 week, the Nuggets lost a game where SGA hit that last three-pointer.
Yep.
I think it was like Monday, I believe. And, it was last Monday. And then last night, Luka hit that last game, the jumper in overtime. And you're like, man, I mean, those guys are playmakers. Those guys are MVP, guys.
Well, and you got to give Jokic credit too, though.
But do we have those guys besides Joker? Joker's going to be doing what he does. But when SGA hits his, that 3-pointer he hit.
But there's nobody like SGA and Luka. I mean, you're talking about the best of the best, and we're lucky to have Jokic. That's why I put the Nuggets in the category I do, is because we do have Nikola Jokic. Now, there's nobody on any of those other rosters that are in the category of SGA. Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, they're not in the category of SGA. LeBron James is old and washed up. I think Austin Reeves is a guy that, he played a heck of a game last night. But let me just say this. I'll take what the Nuggets have on any given night. And I agree with Nuggets. What is it? Nuggets lost the trade?
Yeah.
No, Nuggets
lost the trade.
Nugget lost the trade. Okay, well, I'm not sure exactly what trade. Is he talking about the Melo trade?
No, he's talking about Christian Brown.
Pictures in MPJ.
Oh, okay. Nuggets lost the MPJ trade. Okay.
$125 million.
I don't know, man. I'm going to disagree that they lost the trade, man. I think Cam Johnson, man, right now, I mean, Michael Porter Jr. is on a team that's won, 20 games, 15 games?
Cam Johnson is on a milk carton right now. So
no, he's not.
No, he is, Joey.
Did you watch the game last night?
MPJ is in Brooklyn right now. I would take his numbers. If he was on the Nuggets right now, I think this record would be completely different. The Nuggets would be more of an unstoppable force because he delivered. Yeah, he was inconsistent, but he was damn
But,
good when he was
the
on.
Nuggets couldn't afford him. You don't understand. They were paying him 5 times more than they're paying Cam Johnson. There'd be no
Cam
Tim Hardaway
Johnson's
Jr.
not producing
Alex, hold
enough.
on.
The month of March, Cam Johnson has, starting in March 1st, 0 points. March 6th, 10 points. March 9th, 6. 11th, 17 points. 12th, 15 points. And against the Lakers last night, 18 points.
Right. So, again, he's on a heck of an uptick, 18, 17. But is he the number one option for the team? And secondly, you can't say that Cam Johnson is somebody that's on a
Who
down
would you
tick.
say right now for the Denver Nuggets, in my opinion, would be Tim Hardaway Jr., but who would be the Nugget right now that they've signed on the offseason that is making the biggest impact right now, Joe?
Well, I mean, if you're talking about on the bench, that's one thing. But I think Peyton Watson is the guy that you got to look at because,
he came out.
well, one, he's younger. Tim Hardaway's been in the league 13 years. They mentioned
he wasn't an off-season acquisition. He was already on the team.
Okay,
Joe.
all right. If you're talking about an off-season acquisition, it's not going to be Valanciunas. Valanciunas is done.
No.
That guy does not. He doesn't strike me.
He's just a big body.
He's a big body, nice guy, but that guy's not.
Okay, so he's out.
Tim Hardaway Jr. has got to be the candidate I would go with because Tim Hardaway Jr. is very consistent. I mean, he had an amazing game again last night. Had 4 or 5 clutch 3-pointers. He's not scared to take the big shot. The other guy, Bruce Brown, who's really come on, I think, as well. Bruce Brown is a pest defensively. He's like our Alex Caruso. He's a guy you got to have in the playoffs. Very annoying to the other shooters. But I will say this. I think Peyton Watson, I understand he's not an offseason acquisition, but right now, if you want the Nuggets to go further, you need one more defender. Let's see here. No excuses for Murray, though. He played like a scrub. I get it, Paul, but I'm trying to tell you, man, I'll take Jamal this year, man. I'm not going to – no, Paul, I disagree. But he had 39 against San Antonio. He was back-to-back. I was surprised Jamal was even in the game. He killed it
Paul,
against
he's not
Houston.
a scrub. He's not a scrub.
He's not a scrub at all, man. Now, are you saying he played like a scrub?
Hey, Paul, delete that comment and reword it or edit it because that's not true.
Yeah, man, he's not a scrub, man. He's an all-star. Literally, he's probably the second greatest player in my mind in Nugget history. I mean, you may say Carmelo. Now, you want to talk about a scrub?
Joe.
Hey, man, I'm gonna put Jamal Murray as the second greatest Nugget. Absolutely. Look at him. Look at his facts. Look at his scoring. Look at his assists. Look at his rebounds. I mean, I'll put his career stats right now.
Fat Lever?
Man, I'll tell you what. Fat Lever has not in the playoffs. Jamal Murray is one of the best guards in the history of the NBA. You look at his statistics playoff-wise, Fat Lever never had statistics like Jamal Murray.
I agree, Joe.
No way. I'll take Jamal over any of those guys. Carmelo Anthony, every time in the playoffs, he was out in the first round.
Besides Joker being the greatest Nugget of all time.
Yeah, no, the Joker's far and away the greatest player in Nuggets history.
What about Alex English?
Alex English was the greatest scorer in Nuggets history. But no, man. Let's see here. I don't know, man. I'm going to say this. And Steven Steele, I love Steven Steele, man. I follow Steven Steele.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll say this about Jamal.
I agree.
I'll say this in the playoffs. I'll tell you. Let's look up Alex English's playoff average, scoring average, and Jamal's. Will you do that for me, Nick?
Different game. Though,
I'm just saying.
Steven.
I just want to see because Steven, I'll put Alex English as the second best Nugget ever right now. But I think by the time Jamal's done,
above Carmelo.
Yeah, Carmelo's a top 5 guy. Carmelo never won anything here. What did Carmelo ever do? He went to the Western Conference Finals once because we had Chauncey Billups. Without Chauncey, Carmelo, he was out in the first round 7 years in a row.
Joe, you're about to start a real going screaming match here, but no.
Hey, anybody can have a screaming match with me about Carmelo Anthony.
Listen, let's just
hold on. Did you get it, Nick?
Let's agree to disagree.
All right, he's looking at it.
All right, let's agree to disagree.
So you got Alex English.
Joker number 1. No question about it.
Well, where do you put Jamal then? Where do you put him? Look at his bubble.
Third or fourth.
Okay, yeah. I mean, the bubble alone, just that performance in the bubble.
Joe.
Oh, you got it, man. I mean, you got it. It was the most bizarre circumstances in the history of sports.
It's just you had Cartman from.
It was weird.
And you had all these characters.
I know.
Stands.
I get it, man. No, I got it. But I'm just telling you, some of the performances, man, of Jamal in the playoffs, the championship run, Jamal. I mean, I never saw a guard in Nuggets history play any better than that.
Not better than Alex English.
No, he loves Maul. He said he loves Maul.
Okay, Jamal averaging right now
in the playoffs.
Yep, through his postseason. So that's 5 playoff appearances. He's averaging 23.7 points a game. Alex English, 24.4 points per game. 5.5 boards, 4.3 assists. Jamal has 6 assists, and 4.9 boards. So they're
pretty
neck
even,
and
man.
neck.
They're pretty even, man. And the other thing is, I will say this: Adelman's clutch record. I'm not sure, Adelman. Let me just say this: I didn't say anything's wrong with David Adelman. I actually like David Adelman.
There's nothing.
But can we all listen? Can we all agree that everybody learns things on their first year on the job? That's all I'm saying. He's going to be a lot better 3 years from now. I think he's pretty good, but no, he's made some mistakes. Come on, man. Just because somebody's good, let's not. I mean, honestly, I'll be honest with you, man. And I love Paul. I don't care about this game and the Fakers. By the way, that was a total push-off. Raise your hand if Luka Doncic, if you didn't watch it, Luka Doncic fully extends his arm and pushes off. I mean, you're not going to get that call. I get it. It's Luka. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm really not going to say this. But think CB getting cooked and Murray for inconsistency, but will hurt us in the playoffs. Well, I'll say this about all this. The Nugget, I agree, and also Nuggets lost the trade. Why didn't we foul Luka? They did have a foul to give. You absolutely need to make that foul, and everybody was standing up. By the way,
I agree with that one.
Am I the only one who thinks Spencer Jones might be a little out of it sometimes? I love the guy, I love his hustle, but he doesn't look normal to me. He looks like a guy that's just maybe had a little suavecito before the game or maybe during the game. I love Spencer Jones, though.
He's a big
All
body.
right, we got to get out of here, man.
He's a big body.
Hey, we got Bill Foss from Suavecito at 11:05.
And Nick's got some announcements to make.
Yeah, wait. Time out, man. We got Bill Foss from Suavecito Tequila coming up next.
Yeah.
We have Troy Rank from the Denver Post coming up at 11:05, and our good friend Tony Thompson from the Colorado Spartans.
Our good
big
friend,
victory, baby.
Of the Colorado Spartans.
Well, man, he's our good friend too, man. And I'm so happy for him and his team. A big road victory last night. Kind of got the bad taste out of their mouth. Nick, what do you got, man?
Mile High Sports Studios number 38 are presented by Volo Sports. We play so kids can play for free. Go to volosports.com to learn more. Also, the Vimos Pay app. Download for free to pay your tab, earn points, and win prizes. VimosPay.com.
Also, got to mention, it is Selection Sunday. The CSU Lady Rams do take it. They win the Mountain West Conference. Great job. I mean, it's a Rams weekend, right? It's a Lady Ram weekend. You got the Green Mountain Lady Rams.
Yeah.
You got the CSU Lady Rams.
The Green Mountain Lady Rams lost last night. It's not a big deal. Hey, listen.
Hey, man,
I appreciate
it's still,
you guys.
man, I give it up for them, man. They made it all the way to the championship.
Big shout out to Kerry Coyle.
Yes.
Who was part of that state championship team in 1992.
Well, we'll be seeing those guys next year. 35th anniversary.
That's crazy, Joe.
Hey, man. All right, man. We will be talking to our great friend, Bill Foss from Suavecito Tequila.
We're going to dive in. We're going to dive into the Nuggets and find out what's really wrong with them.
Bill, I think Bill needs to be in the locker room after the game with some Suavecito.
Give him a credential.
Give him and let him do the man of the match, the Suavecito nugget of the game. I love it.
Oh,
all right,
wow.
We'll talk to Bill about that.
I like that one, Joe.
And much, much more when you return to the final word with Joe Rico and Alex Ramirez, live from number 38.
My name is Anthony with Plunge Plus Plumbing. We've been in business for 16 years. We service from Longmont to Castle Rock and everywhere in between. We specialize in service work, underground sewers, water heaters, drain cleaning, faucet repair. If it's in your home, we fix it. We also ensure that our customer service is top notch and customer satisfaction is our utmost priority. Our motto is honest service, honest price. We're not going to sell you a bunch of stuff that you don't need or that you don't want. We'll just take care of the issue at hand and be on our way. Most of the time we can get there same day. If you need plumbing, give us a shout. 720-434-5832. Or you can reach us on our website at plungeplus.com. We are proud sponsors of The Final Word.
My name is Sadie Leffel, and I'm the owner of Grease Diva Garage, and we're located in Frederick, Colorado. What makes us unique from other automotive repair shops is that we are woman-owned, we're locally owned, we offer car care classes for women, and we really are truly a car care center. You can get everything you need for your vehicle right here. Here at Grease Diva Garage, we believe in excellence, integrity, and education. We just happen to be great mechanics. We specialize in classic and vintage vehicles. We have the tooling experience to do everything from engine mechanical all the way through body restoration on all makes and models. So in order to come into Grease Diva Garage, there's multiple ways you can get a hold of us. Through our website at greasedivagaraage.com. You can email us at greasedivagarage@yahoo. You can give us a call at 720-731-3000. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram. Multiple ways to get a hold of us. You can make an appointment online as well. We are proud sponsors of The Final Word.
The thing about basketball is your team can win, Or they might come up short. Either way, how much fun you have is all about who you're hanging with. Come on over to Hooters, where every game's a win. With wings that bring the heat, ice-cold beer to wash them down, and the only stat we really care about is assists.
Game's on. Where are you gonna be?
Hooters, your official hangout for game day.
We are ServiceMaster DSI, and we're located in Aurora, Colorado, off of I-70 in Chambers. My name is Rhonda Fisher. I am the Business Development Manager for ServiceMaster DSI.
My name is Jason Catlett. I am the branch manager for ServiceMaster DSI. We specialize in disaster restoration, including water, fire, mold, biohazard, trauma cleanup. Company is included as a GC, so we can do the mitigation and then the full repairs on the job for you. At ServiceMaster DSI, we help our customers on their worst day. No one ever plans to have a flood or a fire or water damage, and we help restore their lives back to pre-loss condition.
We handle both residential and commercial losses.
We service all of the Front Range, including up north to Fort Collins, down south to Colorado Springs. We go up into the mountains into Georgetown. We go out to Windsor, Fort Morgan. We're one of the largest franchises in the United States.
We pride ourselves in having our technicians be IICRC certified. You can reach us here at ServiceMaster DSI at 800-954-9444, or you can call me directly at 720-602-8677. You can also email me at rhonda.fisher@smdsi.com.
You can also reach us on our website, which is ServiceMaster DSI. If you need more information, you can email info@smdsi.com. We're here to help for whatever emergency service needs you have. We are proud sponsors of The Final Word.
With millions of page views every year, ColoradoPreps.com is the #1 source for the high school sports community to keep up with the latest news and scores. From football and volleyball to basketball and softball, ColoradoPreps.com provides a year-round hub for coaches, friends, and family to stay connected to their favorite schools and athletes, and keep an eye on their rivals. Covering high school sports from the peaks to the plains, you always get the latest at ColoradoPreps.com.
Golf season is here, and Denver Golf Passes make it easier than ever to play. Start your golf journey with Learn and Play 1.0. 5 clinics, 5 rounds, 5 buckets. Already playing? Take your game up a level with Learn and Play 2.0. Or grab the Friends and Family Pass. 20 par 3 rounds and 30 mini golf or range sessions. And for new players wanting reps, the Practice and Play Pass gives you 10 rounds and 15 range buckets. Find the pass that fits your game. Visit cityofdenvergolf.com.
Rico and Alex Mears, we are back live at number 38, The Final Word. What a great time to be alive as a Denver sports fan. You've got Nathan McKinnon and the Avs making a cup run. The Joker, I mean, just doing incredible things on the basketball court as the Nuggets try for another championship. The Broncos are back, 14-3 last year and, headed to the NFL draft. And then, you've got the Rockies in opening day. And then let's just say this. I've got cautious optimism. I mean, I think they could actually – I've put the bar for the Rockies at 63 wins, which means –
What would be a good season?
I'm trying to say it, 63 wins. Because that means they don't lose 100 games. They don't suffer that embarrassment for the first time in 3 years. And it means they had a 22-game improvement in the standings because I believe they only won, 40-some games last year?
Nick?
How many games did they win last year, Nick? It wasn't a lot. It was in the 40s. I know that. They were one of the worst teams of all time, I believe, in Major League Baseball history. As we are efforting. Here we go.
Nick will get us all.
Hang on, computer's running slow.
Yeah.
119.
All right, so they won 43 games. So 63 games is a 20-game improvement. And I don't think it's a lot to ask for a team not to lose 100 games. Alex, what would be a good season in your mind?
I don't know that yet, Joey. I mean, how do you calculate a good season or a season that's actually something?
Well, I look at what they've done.
Growth.
Yeah, I look at what they've done in spring training.
I agree. New manager.
Also, not only that, they have some new players.
Okay.
They have new pitching. They have some guys that weren't here last year, and I'm willing to give those new people a chance in the front office.
I'll answer that question at the end of this segment because
fair enough.
I'm going to listen to you guys and take it from you guys, and Nick will chime in.
Well,
on
Nick, enlighten us. What are your expectations?
what would
Because
be a
you're
good
a baseball guy here.
What would be a good season for you, Nick?
Is 63 unreasonable for me to say that?
No, I don't think so. I think that's a good bar to set. And
Yeah,
I mean,
it's fair.
You've made some moves. You got a pitcher that wanted to be here in Michael Lorenzen.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah, it's still quote unquote spring training, but look at what he did the other night for Italy against the US.
Yeah.
That's a lineup.
So
I mean, granted, it was the B lineup
Right. For the
US because Mark DeRosa doesn't know how to count.
Right.
But he still looks good and he still dominated some pretty big names.
Oh, that's awesome that he said
He's the best pitcher. Let me just say this for reputation, Alex. Michael Lorenzen's the best pitcher the Rockies have had here in the last 7 years. I mean, I think that's fair to say.
Let me
Outside of the guys that pitch well,
he came here because he wanted to be here, not because his kids are going to get a good education going to Cherry Creek. Hi,
Right.
Mike Hampton.
Right, exactly.
Mike, listen, guys. I'm going to ask you guys a question real quick. This is kind of like off the cuff, but it's also part of baseball. So, what would you guys think is the best, like, contributing sport as an American athlete that competes in international play? Would it be the WBC, which is the World Baseball Classic, right? Nick, what you're watching right now. I saw your Instagram.
I watched it last night. I watched a little of it. Go ahead.
Second, Joe.
Go ahead.
It was Japan
and Venezuela.
All right, I saw that. I follow Nick. If I want to know about baseball, I follow Nick.
I got it.
All right.
I'm just saying. I watched some of it.
Hold
Go
on. Or is it? I mean, is it the NHL, which just happened recently in the
Four Nations?
Yeah,
no,
Four
no,
Nations.
no, 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 not the Four Nations. That was
The Olympics?
The Olympics.
Okay.
Or is it the NBA competing in the Olympics? Because we already know the NBA is going to. I mean,
I think it's the NBA for sure.
I don't think so, Joe. I think it's the NHL. The NHL, and yeah, the Four Nations thing is cool. But when you look at an entire body of how these all-stars and these American athletes or international athletes compete with these other organizations, you look at it like, okay, so Nathan McKinnon, McCarr were on Team Canada, okay, at the Olympics, and then you look at the players that played for the NBA, Olympics team. Then you look at the WBC. What would you guys say classifies as a better all-star game, which really means more? I'm going to say the NHL because of what just happened recently.
With the USA beating
Olympics.
Canada.
Mhm.
All right. And then you could look at the World Baseball Classic, though, and you could look at the intensity. I mean, I couldn't believe the game was in Miami.
I asked the question. Just ask the question.
Right. Yeah. I'm just saying.
What do you guys think?
I'm answering. I'm saying I think that if you look at World Baseball Classic, it's underrated. Like that place was on fire. That was electric. When Venezuela took the lead, I've not heard a response of a crowd like that. And there was a lot of neutral, just baseball loving people who were not from Japan or Venezuela at that game, obviously in Miami, Florida. And that place, it was on fire.
I get it.
I'm going to say this. I'll say
Otani did.
And also, but you look at the USA. All right, and
Otani was 1 for 2 with a home run.
You got to look at it.
All right, you're right.
Is the dream team, is that aspect of all the greatest players in the NBA playing together, is that gone and ran its course? And has it been passed now by both the World Baseball Classic and hockey? I don't know. Let's bring Bill Foss into the equation. Bill, we've run a lot of stuff in to this, but let me just ask you, and Suavecito Tequila, by the way, piques your interest in anything. I mean, no matter whether I'm watching the World Baseball Classic or the NBA or whatever, I want a bottle of Suavecito next to me. But Bill, where are you at? Like, if you had to watch a game and you had your choice between watching an NBA group of athletes in the Olympics, an NHL group of athletes in the Olympics, or the World Baseball Classic, where would you put your viewership? And thanks for coming on this morning.
My pleasure, Joe. Listen, I'm with all three of them. I think that when we get that caliber of athlete from all the different teams in each of those three sports on our team, our USA team, I mean, it's just fun to watch. It's just
true.
Wonderful.
I love it. Alex?
It is fun to watch.
He said it like he always does. He puts it into a great perspective.
I have to go tell you, hey, give everybody Suavecito Tequila, the small batch handcrafted tequila for the true connoisseur. Traditional tequila is meant to be savored, not salted or chased. Bill and Jeff, his son, have created Suavecito Tequila in a different way.
Dynasty.
So you can enjoy it differently with the flavor so smooth. You can try it or you can try to believe it. One sip is all it takes. There are so many ways to craft tequila. There's only a way to do Suavecito tequila. And when that statement goes out, Bill, on your homepage on the website, how proud does that make you feel? Like you're like, man, like we stand behind what we do, and this is what it is, man. And you like it?
It's real.
Great. I mean, Total Wine loves it. The entire world loves it. I believe last night they were doing a Suavecito tequila party last night here at number 38 for the doubleheader for the Denver Nuggets last night.
That was the second part of the doubleheader with the Suavecito party.
I can only imagine what it was. We didn't come, Joey.
Oh my God, it was crazy here last night.
I saw the videos. But Bill, when you start seeing things like that transpire in front of you, what you and your son have created, it has to have a good feeling, right?
Oh, it's ridiculous. The fact that we're a national tequila with the Total Wine and more
international coming up.
Store. Okay, that's where I'm heading. They're the largest liquor store chain in America, and we're their number one selling tequila. I've got 2 men going to Russia on Thursday.
It's not Joe and Alex.
No,
the Total Wine liquor store chain in America, the largest liquor store chain, is 380 stores. In Russia, the largest liquor store chain is 1,700 stores.
Oh my God.
Billy,
Oh my God.
Billy.
Hey man, get those pallets ready.
Billy.
Let me just say this:
Joe,
the best starting five in sports: the Blanco, the Reposado, the Cristalino, the Anejo, and my personal favorite, the Extra Anejo. I call that the big man in the paint. Let me just tell you, when you have your great friends over, you only want to break out Suavecito tequila. Alex, if your bar doesn't have it, what do?
You demand it, Joey.
Man, if your watering hole doesn't have it,
man, you got to order it, man.
You're over at your friend's house. I demand it even at your house.
Just bring it over, man.
Yeah, it's
and
the
the
best.
hotel doesn't have it. You got to have it.
You got to demand it.
You demand it. Suavecito tequilas are made with the Highland-grown agave from the mountains of Jalisco, Mexico, using the extended aging process that goes beyond the regulatory minimum to create a rich flavor and remarkable smoothness. You guys are the only ones that return a 2% agave nectar back into the tequila to eliminate that unwanted burning sensation to create more enjoyable drinking experience. Suavecito is so smooth. One sip is all you need, and you will agree. Listen, Bill, when I go out and I have a drink, sometimes I'll have a Jack Daniels, but not very often. But when I'm out and I see Suavecito, I need to have that because it makes me feel. It gives me an empowerment. Like I know, first of all, I know you, so I'm supporting our sponsorship and our friendship. But Bill, talk about that 2% agave back. It goes in because people take shots of tequila. They're like, this isn't really a tequila you do a shot with. It's a tequila you savor and you sip it, right?
Yep.
Bill?
No.
Can you expand on that, please?
That's why I put that 2% of agave nectar back into my tequila, because it eliminates the burn going down your throat. Okay, we're still tequila, but without the burn. We're a true sipping tequila to be enjoyed while you're drinking it.
Well, one of my best memories with you and Alex is us doing just that out on the balcony of your beautiful penthouse mansion downtown. And Alex and I were sitting there in the sunset, and we each have our glass. And I think I had my Anejo, you had something, Alex had a Cristalino, and we're just sipping. And, I fell in love with the tequila then. And, it's not just a brand, it's a way of making it. It's a different craft. I found out tequilas are all crafted differently, and you've done the recipe from Dr. Luis Ramirez that you concocted. It's just nobody else can even compete with it. What do you do? What do you love the most about what that recipe stands for? And give me like some of the differences between the light tequilas and the darker tequilas as far as the flavor goes.
Well, it's a matter of aging. Tequila, when it's produced, is white, like a Blanco, which has never been put in a barrel. Once it's put in a barrel, it's got to be aged 2 months in that barrel to be a Reposado.
And those are Jim Beam barrels.
Yeah, Jim Beam whiskey barrels, right?
We do ours in Jim Beam whiskey barrels.
Not everybody.
Not everybody does.
No.
Oh, no.
No.
We use used Jim Beam whiskey barrels because it gets that brown color faster, deeper, and it picks up slight flavors from that whiskey barrel. So we age, instead of aging it 2 months like our competition does to be a Reposado, we age it 9 months. It's got to be aged 1 year in the barrel to be an Añejo. We age ours 2 years. It's got to be aged 3 years in the barrel to be an Extra Añejo. We age it 5 years. So we extra age it. It gets extra flavor, extra color, extra texture. It just smoother and better than any other tequila you'll have ever had.
Well, the texture is definitely there because when you age it that long, and your farm, Mexico, is constantly creating new ways to to bring it up. Crushing the pina, and what I like about it more than anything is like you guys take your time. You guys take your time.
Yeah.
You're not rushing it. You're not expediting a process where a tequila we got to get it out. No. We won't put this tequila out until it is ready to go. Billy, I gotta tell you, Denver Nuggets right now, NBA, as of today, March 15, 2026, the Denver Nuggets are sitting in the 6th spot in the Western Conference at 41-27. Last 10 games, 5-5, so 500. Yes, they lost to the Lakers last night in overtime. You could call it whatever you want. I'm not sure if you watched the game or not. It is what it is. But they also had a couple tough back-to-back wins. So when you see this team right now with 14 games left to go in the season, what would be your advice as a former coach for the NBA and for the Colorado Buffaloes basketball team? What would you say you would want to tweak or maybe give some advice to Coach Adelman and say, hey, you know what? We're not there yet, guys. Do we need to put all our horses in there right now? Are the Nuggets a team right now, if the playoffs started tomorrow, are they ready to make a championship run? What would be your advice to your expertise about how the Nuggets handle the rest of the last 14 games?
Well, the Nuggets need to make some major adjustments. They're a great team as long as the Joker's on the floor.
Sure.
Okay. And they always have the lead early in the game. Then they take him out and rest him in that second period, and they get walloped in that second period.
Right.
Okay. The Nuggets really need to learn how to play a different style of basketball when the Joker's not on the floor. When he's on the floor, they're a great team. They are a great team. When he's not on the floor, they're just average at best.
I think it's very fair. And it's great. The other thing is they got to figure out a rotation of who's going to come in and out of the game and who's going to be on the game in the game at the end of the game. Everybody worries about who the starters are. The most important time to me is the last 3 minutes. Who's actually out there then?
The 6-man.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's just who's going to be on there. It's not, I mean, you got to kind of go. You've got all game to feel that out, right? It's different players, different nights. I thought Cam Johnson played very well last night. He hasn't played very well the rest of it. I mean, Michael Porter's played a lot better, but over the past 2 weeks, I've finally seen this guy. He's starting, as Nick read off the statistics, he's had double figures in the last 4 games. He had 5 threes last night. He wasn't the reason the Nuggets lost last night. But I will say, Bill, I think defensively, they've got to get better in order for this team to go anywhere.
Yeah, no question about that. We talked about that last week.
Yep.
How they give up too many offensive rebounds because they don't box out on defense.
You see that. You see that as a coach.
As a coach, I see that. And, and that if you give up 10 points on offensive rebounds, that's 10 points that you could have won the ball game by.
Lost by 2.
And exactly.
So you should have won by 8 if you just rebound.
If you just box out and don't let the opposing team get offensive rebounds.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Let me ask you this, Bill. Do you think the NBA at this point has become let's just outscore the next team? Let's not play any defense. Let's just outrun the next team that comes into our city and our building? Because you're right. Back in the old school days, defense meant something. Boxing out meant something.
Yeah.
Blocking shots meant something. Yep. Now it's just like run and gun. And I get that too. And I mean, these athletes are way more advanced than they were back when you and I and Joey used to watch the games back in the day.
Yeah.
But there is a philosophy that defense does still win championships, right, Bill?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. But you hit a good point, Alex. Professional teams on the whole are running and shooting more than playing defense.
Right.
Well, the other thing is, you were a great college coach, and nobody really understands who the big stars are in college basketball anymore. So we're not going to ask you to talk about any names. But hey, man, the tournament's still a big deal to all these 18 and 19-year-old kids.
Selection Sunday,
right? Well, that's what I was
March
saying.
Madness starts today.
Well, that's what I was saying. Bill, you were a college basketball coach, and for a lot of these smaller schools, maybe
Sure.
they're not
Oh,
going to win
yeah.
the championship, but just making the tournament such a big deal.
Huge.
I love watching these kids win these small conference tournaments and their fans run out on the court. No, they're
Even
probably
though
going to
they're
get their
gonna
butt
play-
kicked. Yeah,
They're
they're going to play
playing
Duke, and they're going to get
or
beat
North
by 30.
Carolina in the
But,
first
but
seed.
that is kind of their championship, right? When they win that conference tournament, that still means something to that school, right?
Oh, absolutely. No, it's just so exciting. They work so hard all year long to get to this point, and then to win a championship and get into the playoffs,
the tournament,
March,
yeah,
the tournament. It's unheard of and so special and so wonderful.
I'm
I
not
love
sure
it.
if you guys remember. I think it was St. Mary's, Joey, there was a.
Oh, you mean with Sister Jean? It was
Sister
Loyal of Marymount,
Remember
Loyal
that?
of Chicago.
Remember that?
Yeah,
Oh,
she just passed away at 104 this year.
Weren't they like
They were
15,
11 seeds. No, they were
16,
they were way down there. They were way down there.
That's
Yeah.
what makes basketball beautiful because they're not playing any, series games. It's just once you're in the tournament, you're in the tournament.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. And, as I follow college basketball, which is not very often, but I do see some
Nobody
teams-
does anymore, I don't think.
Old Dominion, are they 31-1?
Oh, that's Miami of Ohio. They went 31-0, and then they
my-
lost in their conference tournament,
right.
and they're seeing if they're going to get in. I think that kind of stuff's interesting.
And they may not get in.
No, they may not.
And they may not get in still. That's which is sad because
That's big, bro. That's the big business of
But
it, though,
listen,
right?
we
They'd
can-
rather have
but
12
we-
SEC
But we
teams.
can also correlate that to how college football works, though, too.
Yeah,
You know what happened last year?
Tulane and those other teams got killed.
Right. I mean, you're not going to play against Ohio State. You're not going to be able to play against, Alabama. You're not gonna, which is unfair, Bill. But at the same time, the tournament is there for them to do that. But
Oh yeah.
at the end of the day, man, if you got like 8 draft picks on Ohio State,
Yeah.
First
Florida's
round
got a guy.
playing.
Florida's got a guy who's 7'9". Did you guys see this guy,
Florida?
Oliver?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's 7'9", and
But he's
I mean,
not Wemby.
Yeah, he's not. No, he's very uncoordinated. I mean,
Yeah,
he's not. It's
he's-
kind of like they don't even start the guy. But he's a guy who comes off the bench though, and he reminds me of Manute Bol. Remember Manute Bol?
Oh, yeah.
That guy was tall, but he couldn't really. That's how this guy is.
But that's not. That's just. I guess,
Speaking of Wemby, man, that guy's a freak. Wemby's an alien. I've never seen a guy 7'5" that can do that. Bill, how do you stop Wemby?
It's unbelievable. I don't know.
How do you stop Wemby, Alex?
I think the only reason why the Nuggets.
I got it
first
right
of all, they were
You just pour it down his throat. Pour a bottle down his throat.
And
Of
that's
course, he
okay.
might play
And
better
that's what
on
makes
Suavecito.
sports. I mean, that's why sports is so beautiful because you can actually mix it up and say, hey, you know what? We got a team in the tournament.
Yeah.
And for them, that might be the best thing that's ever happened to them because they're not going to advance any further. I mean, yeah, they might have won their MAC championship, or they might have won the SWAC,
SWAC, or the REAC or whatever.
At the end of the
Yeah,
day, when you go to the tournament on a Thursday morning, when everybody's at the sports bar doing their their
brackets and all that.
busters, and someone loses, but every once in a while, Joey, you
Hey,
see a
Cinderella,
team-
man.
see a
Cinderella, man.
Cinderella team.
George Mason, Loyola Chicago. I mean, it
Yeah.
goes on and on.
Yeah.
Jim Valvano, the North Carolina State 1983 team, probably the most famous Cinderella. They won the
Was
championship.
I alive, Joe, at the time?
You were 7 years old. I mean, come on, man. Anyway, the bottom line is now I don't know if you were in a North Carolina State jersey at the time. I don't think that. I don't even know if I doubt you were watching the tournament, but I was because I was 16 years old. And that was everything to me back then. College basketball, man, I loved it. I don't have that same attachment to the game. The guys stay for 1 year and then they take off. They leave to the NBA. And then there's another guy.
And I think that's
I probably know 5 guys every year.
You know what's funny, Joe? I think that like kids, when we were growing up, I used to buy Sherman Douglas, Syracuse.
Yeah, because he's going to be there all 4 years.
Or the Georgetown or
Patrick Ewing.
Marcus Liberty.
Yeah, Lonzo Mourning, all those
Lonzo,
guys.
These guys that you became like familiar with these
Right.
players and these teams.
Right.
It's not there anymore, man.
No, they don't, dude. They just take off.
And it sucks because if they don't like their team, they'll just transfer the next year to get another deal. And maybe, Bill, you can elaborate a little bit on the NIL, which is a name, imaging, and likeness deals that they have now. So if you're not a starter, for example, a CU football player,
You just take off.
you're like, you know what? I'm not starting this year.
Later.
I'm going to transfer to Utah. Or I'm gonna
Utah's
transfer-
offering me 3, or better yet, you were starting, and then Utah offers you $800,000 to say, "Hey,
do you
leave
think-
CU and come to us."
Bill, do you think that might be something like that could be like harmful as a former, NCAA coach, Bill, you see that as like that's why Nick
It
Saban
affects competition.
Nick Saban
Oh,
said,
boy,
"I'm not."
does it ever.
Nick Saban said, "I'm not doing this anymore. I'm done. I've made my
Dabo
money."
Sweeney's about ready to quit.
And they're like, you know what? If my quarterback doesn't like my system, he's going to leave.
He just takes off now and goes to another school.
What are your thoughts on the NIL?
How do they fix it? Can they do anything about it?
I don't think you can. But go ahead, Bill.
Well, I think it's too late now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You know, they've created this monster, and I'm with you guys. You know, I coached back in the day when
Scholarship actually meant
scholarship
it
was
did.
good enough.
It did.
where your education was enough.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what
A lot of
everybody
money for
went
that too.
Oh yeah. You know, but now that they're all playing for money, and as you already pointed out, they're not playing for peanuts. They're playing for big time money.
Yeah.
Big time.
You know, and they can play for 5 and 6 years at the college level. They don't just have 3 years of varsity eligibility.
Yeah,
You
if they
know.
get hurt, now they get to go back. Hey, we got a couple minutes left. I want to flip it over to the NFL because I know you're a big NFL guy, and you know you've been very supportive of the Broncos. You and me and Alex have been together the first 6 years. They've been bad, and then Bo Nix came 2 straight playoff appearances, maybe a couple injuries away from being in the Super Bowl last year. And then they go out in free agency. They don't really do anything, but they have signed a lot of their own guys, and they're getting a lot of criticism for that.
All their own
Well, yeah, all 17 of them, which it's unheard of. But okay, so now there's the draft left. There might be a trade, but are you against them signing all of their players on a team that went 14-3? And do you think they could have added at least maybe one more guy on offense? That would be my only complaint. But I think you got to reward. I mean, they gave a lot of big contracts out too to these guys already. Where are you at with what the Broncos have done?
Well, just think about it, guys. You know, they were 14-3. Okay, and now they're going to have everybody back, and they've got a new offensive coordinator, and they're going to do things a little differently. They learned a lot.
Look at Bill.
Love it. I love it.
Of what they did last year. They learned, you know, from that record, and they are absolutely going to be better, even with the same people.
Bill,
I love it.
Bill, I got it.
Last one, Alejandro.
No, I got to tell Bill. First of all,
he's an amazing analyst. Go ahead.
He's dialed in, man. He knew we have a new offensive coordinator that's gonna be calling the plays. Coach Davis Webb. Good for you, Bill. Number 2. So the Broncos got rid of that salary with Russell Wilson. So they got a lot of money. They really do. They have a lot of money to spend. And they didn't do that during this past week. I'm not sure if the Penner Walmart family's like, make sure you're not spending any money on players that we don't want to get anymore because you already put yourself in a hole a long time ago.
Russell, Trey Greenlaw.
So I think they're being very, very careful and very diligent on who they sign next. But at the same time, you have a lot of money. And they could have reached out to some of these free agents. And I get it. Free agency is not going to make your team always better. And I get that. You build through the draft. You got 9 picks this year, Bill. But that money, does it carry over? Yes. It's kind of like an FSA at my job.
Yeah.
You know, you got your hours, your PTO hours. If you don't use them, you don't lose them, but they just carry over. But at this time, the Broncos are in a small window right now. They were just in the AFC Championship game, 1 half away to get into the Super Bowl. Do you anticipate the Paytons to do something big, to land some huge free agent that maybe we not expect? Or do they just hang on to that money and maybe get them next year and we just build through the draft? I mean, that's where it's at this point.
Yeah.
Yep. No question. That's where it's at. And I because I'm not part of their staff and I'm not on that.
You should be.
I can't answer that question specifically, you know, but I do know that they are going to be better. Okay. They've learned a lot. They improved a lot last year. You saw how much they improved this last year.
Are we going to get some big splash free agent, or is that not happening this year?
I can't answer that.
I know either. I can't answer that either.
Yeah, no, I don't know if that's what they want or don't want. I know they want to maintain the stability that they had last year and improve on it. And you can do that with the same amount of players. So they're going to be better.
Well,
first of all,
just say this. Hey, we got Trey waiting in the chat room. We got to get going.
Hold on. You can't. 9 players that get drafted on the Broncos will not make the team. There's just not too many players. Are they going to compress that, combine those players, Billy, and say, hey, you know what? We might move up in the draft because we like this tight end.
They might do that.
And
yeah.
we like this tight end. We like this running back, or I don't know.
Look, Alex, you make great points. And let me just say
Great
this,
point.
because with Bill Foss, I could spend 2 hours. I mean, really, Bill, we should just have a whole show with just you one day, and we could do it
We could do
easily.
3 hours with Bill.
Yeah, and he's also one of our best friends. Not only the best tequila maker I've ever seen, one of the best people I've ever met. But I'm going to tell you this. I love the diversity of the final word that we get to have you, then we get to have Troy, then we get to have Tony, then we get to have and I just never get to spend enough time with any of you.
Outstanding.
But I'm going to say this, please, suavecitotequila.com, best move you'll ever make. Just
Bronco,
type your zip code in. Type your zip code in. It'll tell you where the nearest place to buy it, or you can just hit up any Total Wine. They love Suavecito. In the top 40 alcohols in the country, they're one of their top 40 brands, and it's without denial my favorite drink on the planet, the Blanco, the Reposado, the Cristalino, the Añejo, and my personal favorite, the Extra Añejo.
Which is the one that starts your car?
Man, the Extra Añejo. Oh, and that's the single barrel Añejo, which
That
is
one's-
seasonal, and that's going to be looking. You probably look for that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm guessing sometime here in the late summer.
Yes.
That late summer, early fall. That's when we released it last year, and it was amazing. It just went so quick. All right, we got to get going. Troy Rank from the Denver Post. He'll join us in a couple minutes when you return to the final word with Joe Rico and Alex Mears, live from number 38.
At Hooters, you can watch the tournament with your buddies. All your buddies. Like the ones with ice-cold beer. And one-of-a-kind wings that are nothing but net. You know, buddies you won't have to fight for the remote. Buddies who know a thing or two about basketball. And the fans who live for it.
Where else are you going to get all this?
Hooters, your official hangout for game day.
My name is Anthony with Plunge Plus Plumbing. We've been in business for 16 years. We service from Longmont to Castle Rock and everywhere in between. We specialize in service work, underground sewers, water heaters, drain cleaning, faucet repair. If it's in your home, we fix it. We also ensure that our customer service is top notch and customer satisfaction is our utmost priority. Our motto is honest service, honest price. We're not going to sell you a bunch of stuff that you don't need or that you don't want. We'll just take care of the issue at hand and be on our way. Most of the time we can get there same day. If you need plumbing, give us a shout. 720-434-5832. Or you can reach us on our website at plungeplus.com. We are proud sponsors of The Final Word.
My name is Sadie Leffel, and I'm the owner of Grease Diva Garage, and we're located in Frederick, Colorado. What makes us unique from other automotive repair shops is that we are woman-owned, we're locally owned, we offer car care classes for women, and we really are truly a car care center. You can get everything you need for your vehicle right here. Here at Grease Diva Garage, we believe in excellence, integrity, and education. We just happen to be great mechanics. We specialize in classic and vintage vehicles. We have the tooling experience to do everything from engine mechanical all the way through body restoration on all makes and models. So in order to come into Grease Diva Garage, there's multiple ways you can get a hold of us. Through our website at greasedivagarage.com. You can email us at greasedivagarage@yahoo. You can give us a call at 720-731-3000. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram, multiple ways to get a hold of us. You can make an appointment online as well. We are proud sponsors of The Final Word.
The thing about basketball is your team can win, or they might come up short. Either way, how much fun you have is all about who you're hanging with. Come on over to Hooters, where every game's a win. With wings that bring the heat, ice-cold beer to wash them down, and the only stat we really care about is assists.
Game's on. Where are you going to be?
Hooters, your official hangout for game day.
With millions of page views every year, ColoradoPreps.com is the #1 source for the high school sports community to keep up with the latest news and scores. From football and volleyball to basketball and softball, ColoradoPreps.com provides a year-round hub for coaches, friends, and family to stay connected to their favorite schools and athletes, and keep an eye on their rivals. Covering high school sports from the peaks to the plains, you always get the latest at ColoradoPreps.com.
And we are back. Joe Rico, Alex Maris, live from number 38. And as always at this time, we are joined by our good friend, Troy Rank from the Denver Post. He is the best in the business. Follow him on Twitter or X, however you want to call it, at Troy Rank. And Troy, good morning to you. A little chilly this morning here. We're up and down weather, but up and down would be the description of the week held by the Denver Nuggets. Some big wins, some tough losses. But I think the overall take I'm going to make is I'm optimistic because they're in the game. I understand that there's probably some first-year problems for Coach Adelman. I think he's learning. I like David Adelman, by the way, but I think like anybody, you're learning a lot your first year on the job. Maybe some things that you're not aware of. I think 3 games is a little different than 60 games. And I think there's been enough sample size to say, yes, he knows what he's doing, but there's still that little shadow of Mike Malone that I think he's got to come out from. And I think that's going to take a couple victories in the playoffs. I mean, he had a playoff victory last year he won a round. But I think that this is a whole different dynamic. This team is just so close. I really believe that. I mean, Shea Gill just beats him at the buzzer. Luka pushes off and, does what he does, but they're getting beat by the very best players in the game on the road, but they're in the game. This isn't like a 20-point loss where they're just not there. I think they had that to the Knicks, but they also have some victories over the Spurs, a gutty win on Friday night where Jamal scores 39 points. And then, the win against the Houston Rocket, my son were out. I mean, that game was a blowout. So where are you at? Because this is an enigma. I can't figure this team out for the life of me. They're currently in the 6th seed, but they're a game and a half out of 3. I don't know, Troy. Where are you honestly at with the Nuggets? And thanks for making time for us.
Yeah, as always, guys, great to see you, Alex and Joe. I wrote a column a couple days ago saying I'm not ready to give up on the Nuggets just yet. They showed promise this week. They showed some championship resilience. They showed some mettle, especially at San Antonio, down 18 on the road. I understand there was no Wemby, but they didn't have Peyton Watson either, and Gordon's still coming back. 3 games back from his hamstring issues. That was an important win. The loss at LA kind of cancels it out. But it's very obvious. You asked Joe, like, who is this team? When they play defense, they're a championship contender. When they don't, they can get beat by anyone. And that's just been part of this season. Yesterday against the Lakers, to erase that 17-point deficit, to take a fourth quarter lead and then not be able to close out. That game looks almost identical to the OKC game a few weeks ago, not the most recent one, where Cam Johnson missed a 3. If Jamal makes a 3 or Cam makes a 3, they win. Or if Aaron Gordon makes 2 free throws and puts them up by 4 with 9 seconds left, they win. Then they don't box out on the, that amateur junior high play of hit the ball off the rim. That's frustrating. Is that on Adelman? He's made some coaching things that don't make a lot of sense to me. He's still struggling to find the rotation. I think with Adelman, they respect him, guys. He is so brilliant offensively, but he's created this type of democracy where timeouts are kind of player run. He gives the players a huge voice. That's fine, but there comes a point where you get into these games, there has to be one voice. One voice saying, this is what we're going to do. This is what it's going to look like. And it just feels like it's like that they mean to take advantage of him, but I need one chef. I don't need 3. And in those big moments, I think he needs to be more assertive and decisive. But the good news is Gordon is starting to come around. He's looking healthy. He looks like himself. And Jokic looks like himself because the knee wasn't right when he came back and his wrist was bothering him. Now he looks like MVP Jokic. So they're in it. They're in the dance, but Adelman's crazy. He told me the other day that, if we're even in the playoff game, play-in game, that's fine. No, it's not. That's a disaster. They've got to get to a middle seed. You don't want to be the 6th. You could deal with it, but you don't want to be there. But where are they? They've got to get better in the clutch. They've got to play better defense. It's really that simple. They can score on anyone, any game, anywhere. The issue is, can they get stops when it matters most? Against the Rockets, they did. Against the Spurs, they did. Against the Lakers, some suspect officiating, they didn't. And then so they lost.
You're listening to Troy Rank from the Denver Post, our guy on Mile High Sports as well. The Nuggets 5-5 in the last 10 games, Troy. 41-27, 6th spot right now, and Minnesota 41, Rockets 41. Lakers 42 games. So I mean, this can flip flop. There's 14 games left in the season, Troy. When you look at the body of the rest of the season right now, and you look at what happened, and great back-to-back wins, like you mentioned. They beat the Spurs. They were down 18, and the night before they beat they won as well. And you look at
Houston.
Yeah, they beat Houston, which is another team that's right there in the mix as well. I don't know where they are. What's their identity? I don't understand their identity yet. Yeah, you said Gordon's looking stronger. He looks like he's getting back to where he's at. And I understand he's got a degenerative injury that could potentially knock him out for the rest of the year or career possibly. And he's playing his butt off. Christian Brown, is he where he needs to be? I don't know. Peyton Watson is coming back. I mean, there's a lot of dynamics and moving around, but what do you think right now with 14 games to go, where the Nuggets should want to aspire to be? What position? Because right now, as I'm looking at how it's trending and it's going up and down, it looks like they might be in a playing game in a little bit. Am I freaking out too much, Troy, to think that might could happen?
Well, I mean, no, it's not impossible given that since over their last, so they're 11, 13, 12, they're 12 and 14 over the last 26 games. I mean, and they have a 500 record against teams with at least a 500 record. So they struggle to beat good teams. The good news is the schedule gets a lot easier here down the stretch. They still have the OKC and the Spurs. Spurs is the last game of the season, so they might sit guys. So they have a chance here to get hot. They just went through like a 7-game stretch that was their toughest in terms of opponent winning percentage since 2014. So it was a tough stretch. I hate to make excuses for teams, but it was a brutal stretch of games. They survived it. But going forward, you ask, what is their identity? They remind me of kind of like the 2012 Broncos with Manning. Like they are so offensive, but at some point in the playoffs, you can't outscore everyone. You have to get stops. You have to get, blocks, steals, turn people over, get in transition. You mentioned Christian Brown against the Rockets. That was the best I've seen him look all season. He looked healthy. He was their best finisher in transition. He looked great. He played well against San Antonio. Yesterday against the Lakers, there were a couple of times he just wasn't aggressive, and everyone's complimenting LeBron James for diving on the floor because he's 72 years old. Brown's got to be on that ball. He reached his hand out. You got to be diving into LeBron there. That's your ball. Like that. And LeBron was right after the game. Those are the plays that win games like that. He dives. All credit to him. He said it's the first time in his career he did it. That's what ball you've got. Those are those 50-50 balls you've got to win and get in games like that. Cam Johnson has been more aggressive of late. He missed some key shots again, but he's been better. But if they're going to get to where they want to go, those kind of guys have to play well. They can't cover for them because you see teams like yesterday, they take out Jamal. He had 5 points, Alex, and 6 fouls. It was arguably the worst game of his career. So somebody else has to step up. It was partly Gordon. It's, Nicole is playing out of his mind, but somebody else has to make a big basket. They needed it to be Cam or they needed it to be Brown. But they're close. That's the thing. When you watch them play against great teams, they don't look overmatched. For me, when I watch them, I'm like, holy crap, are they ever going to get 2 or 3 stops in a row? Because you watch them in the 2 minutes, 3 minutes left in the game, you can't have to be perfect to win. And it's just like the other team gets a basket. Like, come on now. You're not going to go 6 for 6 down the stretch. So I'm encouraged by some things. Watson should be back this week. What is that rotation going to look like? My guess is Cam Johnson's going to start. Watson's going to start on the second. He's going to be the first guy off the bench and stay with that second team. By the playoffs, for me, that needs to change where Peyton is starting and Cam's coming off the bench. Yeah. I think that's what Adelman told me the other day. We got to figure it out. We're not in rhythm. We've got guys with Hardaway that carried the team when guys were out. Bruce Brown carried the team when guys were out. Now they're struggling to find their rhythm. How does he make that work? That's coaching. Just no excuses. I get it. The injuries suck. They do. But nobody wants to hear about it now with 2 weeks left and the roster's going to be healthy. You got to microwave it. You got to figure it out. And if you have to shorten the rotation, you do. But you can't go get knocked out in the playoffs saying, well, I had 10 guys and just trying to play them all. No. That's lame. We can't do that.
All right, let's flip it over to another team with championship aspirations. That is the Colorado Avalanche, and they got goalied yesterday, lack of a better term, by the great Connor Hollenbach. No harm, no foul in my mind. You're going to lose games in a long season, and teams like the Avalanche, I think, are just waiting for the playoffs to get here. This is a kind of a dangerous time for them, I think. Complacency sets in sometimes for teams who've had tremendous success. They're developing their own rotations, their own lines. I think Jared Bednar has got more than enough talent, as you said last week, but I still think there's a lot, that still needs to be worked out. And when they have a game like yesterday where they don't have that explosive, 4 or 5 goal game, I think they have to win. You're going to win a lot of 2-1 games in the playoffs. Let's face it. What are your thoughts on the Avalanche, as they go down the stretch here with, again, probably 10, 15 games left in the regular season?
Yeah, they've had a great season. They are built to win the cup. Getting Kadri submitted that. We talked about that last week. Here's some things to just keep an eye on down the stretch. And I'm not Hockey Troy. I'm just saying keep an eye on it.
Hockey Troy.
Their power play is much better, right? We're like, okay, finally, this great scoring team is better on the power play, and Kadri's going to help that. Their PK unit, which was one of the best, is now struggling a little bit. Got to get that sharpened up. But the biggest question for me is going to be, how are they going to handle the goalie situation in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Because Wedgwood right now is better than Blackwood. Blackwood profiles is the kind of goalie you like in the playoffs because he's big, athletic, where Wedgwood, I love him. He's chaotic. He's all over the place making these saves. But Blackwood, when he's not good, he gets drilled. I mean, it's 4 goals and 8 shots. So how are they going to play that? Is like, let's say Wedgwood starts game 1 and he gives up 1 goal. Does he get game 2? Are they going to try to rotate him in? I'm not saying it's quarterback, but that's a dangerous element. How Bednar balances that is going to be fascinating to me. Does he just go with the hot hand, one guy, or does he try to alternate it? I would prefer he go hot hand because I just think alternating goalies is just dangerous as hell. Now, maybe the first round, maybe depending on who they play, but that's something that I'm keeping an eye on, guys, because they're built to win the cup. No excuses. The players know it. Management went all in. Broncos, take a hint. Hello, this is what it looks like.
I got it. No, you're right, Troy. Right now, the Avalanche right now with 97 points, the Stars 94. I mean, it's like right there. This hot start that the Avalanche had, man, they were like, oh my God, they're just going to just clinch by Christmas, or they're going to do this and that. It's starting to slow down a little bit, and I get it, and I understand it. And I'll be the first one to tell you that I'm not your biggest hockey.
You're not Hockey Alex
guy. I'm not Hockey Alex. I'm not Hockey Troy. All right, Hockey Troy is at the practices talking to Coach Bednar, talking to McKinnon, talking to McCarr. I don't do that. I'm too old.
We lived through Troy for that.
That's Troy. That's
Right.
why we
That's
have
why
him
he's
on
there.
the program. We can talk to him.
Right.
But I look at this team like that. Hey, listen, yeah, I get it. The team is good, and they may be. Now you're saying to me that
Well, they're not historically good. But go ahead.
We don't understand. Like, I don't understand. Like, so we have 2 great goalies, but who's going to be the main guy? I guess it's a good problem to have, right, Troy? When you have 2, 1A and 1B.
Well, they had no goalies for a couple years, and
sure.
Kemper was just good enough. He wasn't very good at times, but he was just good enough when they needed it. This team doesn't need great goalie play, but the problem into the playoffs is Joe used the term getting goalie. There's gonna be games where it's a 2-1 type game, 3, and your goalie has to keep you in it. And that's where they're built to do it. But I'm just sitting here looking at it, and they're both ranked among like the top 10 goalies in the sport right now. So it's not an obvious decision. Right now, Wedgwood's playing a little better than Blackwood. But again, Blackwood, the way he fills the net, he is a more imposing figure in a playoff series. When you look at him, you're like, this is but I watched them enough. They play better defense in front of Wedgwood. It's like pitchers sometimes. Every time he pitches, they don't give him run support. Well, you don't really know why all the time. Some of it's coincidence, some of it's bad luck. But I just think that element has to be dominated by Bednar. He has got to remember when Kubiak went back to Manning.
Yep.
That won him the Super Bowl. And it didn't totally make sense, but he had the pulse on it. He knew the locker room. He knew what Peyton could do just enough. So that element with Bednar, you can't be discounted, and you can't lose one of them. That's the thing. If you go to Blackwood and he blows up and you bench him, at some point you might have to go back to him. So you've got to balance these egos. Like, hey, if it were me, what I would do is just say, like, today, Wedgwood's the starter. And you don't make pronouncements about so-and-so's got the next game, so-and-so's got, because that's where you get into trouble with players. Hey, you told me I was starting tomorrow. Well, he got a shutout now. No, just say, for today, Wedgwood's my guy, and then we'll answer about tomorrow. That way it becomes performance-based, and it gives Bednar flexibility that if Wedgwood has a bad night, you go right to Blackwood. If Blackwood does, you go to Wedgwood. But if you start saying, well, we're going to alternate, or this guy's going to get this game, players feel like they get lied to if they don't get that game. And now you got players in the locker room looking around like, who the hell's our goalie? And that's I don't think that will happen, but I do think it's worth keeping an eye on. How does Bednar handle this goalie situation?
This is a crazy question real quick. Is the President's Trophy almost in correlation to the Madden cover?
Yeah, I was going to say the Madden jinx. It has been. It makes no sense. Some of it's the stupid way that the NHL does their playoff format now, where good teams play each other right away. That never happened before. Like right now, if the way the playoffs are between the Stars, Wild, and Avalanche, like a couple of those teams are going to be gone early. Like it doesn't make any sense just the way they match them up in division and how they change their playoff format. But yeah, I mean, you could make the argument that you don't want it. It makes no sense though, Alex, if you say it out loud. Do you want the best record? Yeah, I want the best record. And then you get knocked out in the first round. Like I covered a Avs team in 97 that got knocked out in the first round, the defending Stanley Cup champion by the Oilers. So it doesn't make sense. But I'm not going to use that as an excuse. This team is literally built to win a cup. They go 4 deep in the middle of the ice, guys. Where would they have a question right now? Logan O'Connor's coming back. At some point, Gabe's going to be healthy. Like there's nothing they want for. So I don't, whether that means they finish with the best record or not is immaterial to me. They should be able to get to the Stanley Cup Finals. Maybe what happens there, bad puck luck, whatever. Anything less than reaching the Stanley Cup Finals for me is just a huge disappointment.
Well, first of all, make mine Wedgwood. I think Wedgwood has moved past Blackwood.
Okay.
I think it's kind of apparent. I think the one thing that's dangerous is, I mean, the guys in the room know, and hockey's kind of different because they like to keep kind of this room where they're all together, all as one, but you can't, it's just like with 2 quarterbacks. You can't have, you either have one or none. And in the NHL playoffs, I think that you go, I mean, the Jonathan Quicks, the guys that, I mean, how many Jose Teodors, look how many guys have made a name for themselves in hockey by being that number 1 guy. And none of these guys were number 1 during the regular season. They all became number 1 during the playoffs. And I think that's what you're looking at with Scott Wedgwood, Troy, is he's moved past Blackwood as a definitive number 1. And I know it's subjective and you don't want to lose Blackwood, but these are professional athletes making millions of dollars, and there's a performance, and Wedgwood has stood on his head way more than Blackwood in a number of occasions. I just think it's very apparent to me that Wedgwood has moved past Blackwood.
Yeah, well, statistically, you're right. What's crazy about it, though, is Wedgwood's been a journeyman his whole life. So if they had to go to him after Blackwood, he's ready for that. Blackwood's never been good like as the secondary guy. So if you go with Wedgwood, which I would too, it does create the weird dynamic that you might not get the best of Blackwood if you have to go back to him. But that's a risk for me worth taking. If you decide after this next 3 weeks or whatever that Wedgwood's your best goalie plays. We don't try to rationalize it of if. No, he's been our best goalie all year. He's played the most. He gets the nod. And then be prepared to pivot if necessary. But I'm with you. Right now, it's Wedgwood. He's just a little chaotic. He's a different type of goalie. And it's a little more urgency to the way he jumps around. He's kind of all over the net. But it's working. We've seen, like you said, we've seen it work throughout history of the NHL. The hot goalie is the guy you got to stay. You can't overthink it. Just stay with him.
Well, the other thing is, and let's flip it over before we get out of time with you, because I know how busy you are, to the Denver Broncos. And Alex and I have been, Alex said it, you said it, I said it, no activity. I said disappointed. I did say that, you know, I'm a little disappointed. We heard about the cap room. We heard about Russell Wilson's contract the last 2 years, and they were very aggressive last year. And I understand signing your own guys. I didn't expect the same kind of thing as last year. but you got outbid for ETN from what I understand. You underestimated his value. And I just think there was a lack of plan at inside linebacker when your best bet. I mean, you're running it back completely. I understand they went 14-3, but in my mind, a lot of teams like the Bills and Chiefs and several other teams, I think got a lot better. Am I overreacting to the paper champion offseason, that everybody wants to be? Or was there maybe a couple guys out there that really could have been had, like a Kenneth Gainwell or somebody that maybe didn't break the bank, that really was somebody the Broncos don't currently have? Because I think they're a playmaker away on offense from being a Super Bowl team.
Yeah, I think it's deflating, and I don't understand it. And someone that I trust used this example the other day. No one bitched when the Packers did this every year when they didn't go out and participate in free agency with Aaron Rodgers. And I said, yeah, but here's the thing. Aaron Rodgers never went back to a Super Bowl, never got the weapons. So you're basically cementing my argument. I want him to win a Super Bowl. Like I'm seeing it from the eyes of what helps you win a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers bitched for years, go get me a receiver or two. And they never did. And what happened? They never got to a Super Bowl. They were always good. One thing that's become clear to me as I step back from this, their Super Bowl window they see is much bigger than we do. I don't see it as big as they do, because once Bo goes on to his contract of next year, he's probably going to get 60, 65 million. Once he gets in there, it gets dicey. It gets dicey. So if you're saying the Super Bowl window is like 5 years, I would say it's much more closer to 3, in my opinion, just the way the finances work. That's one. Number 2 is they implied they were going to make one big splash. They wanted it to be at running back. Sean Payton said at the Combine, we have to get more takeaways. We have to improve and be more consistent in the run game. So you're thinking, okay, maybe a complementary piece defensively, but definitely a splash on offense. And where was it most obvious they could help because of J.K. Dobbins' health issues? Running back. ATN, it turns out they were a stalking horse. They decided they were not going over $10 million a year for him. He got to 13. They're out. And he wanted to go to Louisiana. Okay. But to your point, Joe, when you get to there, then can you bring in a Tyler Agier? Can you bring in a Gainwell? I would have rather stepped in front of a bus than bring in a second running back like that. But at least it gives you some protection if JK gets hurt again. And here's Dobbins. We all love Dobbins. He's the bilingual burst of a running back. He was their best offensive player for 9 games, 10 games. He was hurt. And then he's going after people on social media. You lame ass bum. You think I'll show you don't come around when I show you it's a fluke. JK, it's a fluke if you stay healthy. Look it up in the dictionary, my man. I love you. It would be a fluke if you stayed healthy at this point. That's all. You're going on year 7 here. You've never played a full season. And what submarined them last year? His injury.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing, and I'll finish it with this. What was confusing about it was they drew a line in the sand on a secondary receiver. They had Jalen Naylor, and it got to a certain figure. They were out on him. He goes to the Raiders. They wanted ATN. It got to a certain figure. So once they didn't kind of get their top targets, they decided we're not going to overspend for mediocrity and lose a comp pick for John Franklin Myers when we love the 2027 draft. That will put most fans to sleep, but fine. Here's the issue. When you say run it back offensively, you can argue defensively it's not the worst strategy. I'm not going to die on that hill. But offensively, guys, how many games did we watch them and literally want to pick our eyes out with a rusty fork? Raiders on Thursday, the last Chiefs game, the last Chargers game, the Giants 3 quarters, Philadelphia, opener against the Titans. These are the ones off the top of my head. You're telling me that's a Super Bowl winning offense?
Yeah.
So, and what impact player has Sean Payton developed offensively here when you tell me, run it back, Troy? Why wouldn't they? He picked Bo Nix. He deserves all credit. Bo's a good quarterback. But how are we going to see Bo's ceiling if you surround him with this group? There's no Kamara. There's no Ingram. There's no Bush. There's no Jeremy Shockey. There's no Michael Thomas. There's no Marcus Colston. You got Cortland Sutton and random tight ends and a running back who you hope's healthy. That doesn't make sense because you look on defense. Vance Joseph turned Nick Bonito into an All-Pro. You look at Jonathan Cooper, 7th round pick. They turned him into a virtual Pro Bowler. Where is that guy on offense? That's my point. If you want to run it back, show me the examples that you can stay in-house offensively and turn Troy Franklin into a Pro Bowler. And if you do this year, I'll be the first to shut up and say you were right. But if you look at that schedule right now, they have 9 games against teams that were in the playoffs last year, and that doesn't even count the freaking Chiefs who missed the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's my point. It's like by not doing anything, you got worse. We all like that team. That's a great team. But it's not to stay pat offensively. I don't get it. I don't.
No.
And I hope I'm wrong. I just don't see it right now on paper. And if you think Davis Webb calling the plays is going to be the difference, I got a secret for you. There's no belief in my mind that he's going to be calling plays by the second month of the season, that Sean will take it back.
Oh, no, we get that too. You know, it's funny, Troy, you see Ingram in the lineup. Well, that's not a running play. That's a passing play. You see Troutman in the lineup. Oh, that's a running play. So they really didn't tilt their hand to the defense, understanding what they were doing. No, I get it. But listen, let's go back real quick. Last one for me. We're going to see your alma mater, place you went to school for, and Joey and I are like one of the biggest
supporters,
followers over at Vermont Sports,
years.
and we go to the games. I will complete my. Joey, how many
14th year? We're losing count. We're right around 14 and 16.
I have this. My next game.
14 and 15.
This next game. No. This next game will be my 100th game.
Okay, I don't even know. I've lost track. I have no idea. I honestly, literally lost track.
I have 100 credentials. Anyways, I have 99 credentials. Anyways, so Livingston leaves. Sapp leaves. Marshall Falk leaves. All right. 2023, Sanders went 4-8. 2024, Sanders went 9-4. 2025, he went 3-9. So we obviously 9-4 is because of Travis and Shador. And he has no coaching staff. All right. He's 16-21 in his career at CU. Tell me, as an alum, you're an alum, you're like the guy who contributes money to the program, or someone who supports the program, because Joey and I go all the time.
Yep.
I won't go to any more.
Troy's been up there with
I won't go to
times.
any 8:30 games anymore because the Highway 93 is just murder, by the way.
You can't do it on the way back.
I'll do a 1:30 game, 3:30 games. That's it. I'm done. And I already saw the schedule. They already have like a lot of that games. You know how it is, Troy. That 93 is a it's a crazy.
Alex, we gotta wrap up. Let's go. Sorry, buddy. Got a couple minutes.
What do you think is happening up at CU right now? And he said yesterday, I don't need a special teams coach anymore. That's not a big deal, but man, where's the program going right now? Because I'm really not really looking forward to this season.
Yeah, they're in a tough spot. It's just because when you bring in mercenaries every year, you have no culture. Yep. And when you don't have culture, when you start to lose, guys start backbiting and you see the lack of effort. And so the only way the transfer portal works then is you're getting supreme talent. So talent kind of overcomes that. And obviously we saw that with Shador and Travis. I just don't think there's enough talent to overcome some of the dysfunction that's developed. It's not good news your defensive coordinator leaves right before spring practice. People can say, oh, we always knew he was going to leave. He wouldn't have left for a demotion and less money unless he thought it wasn't going the right direction. And Livingston probably thought he'd be a scapegoat. Now, if he's got a chance to go into pro ball, maybe he takes over for Vance Joseph after this season, or he stays at CU. They win 4 games. You know what's happening, right, Alex? He's getting fired. And that's what I'm saying. Like all these things individually, you can rationalize why they're happening, but collectively, it's not good for the program. It's not. And we'll see. We'll see if they have enough. They're in a tough spot, but Dion has said it's on him. He's going to fix it. He believes they're way better. So I guess we'll see. It's just hard to always know because there's so many new guys. Until they actually play games, it's really hard to know. But it's a challenge because of it's a new cast of characters. They've got to get to a bowl for me. Like if they don't win 6 games and get to a bowl, that's a colossal disappointment.
Troy, come on, man. Troy, I'll bet you a trip to Cancun but they're not going to get.
Hey, Troy, you might want to take him up on that, man. I mean, I'm not
Seriously,
sure
man.
they couldn't win 6 games.
Dude,
I don't
think
know.
they'll win 3 games.
Look, all I'm going to say is this: we all go up there,
And I love those guys. I love seeing you. I love
spring
seeing
ball's
you,
coming up. Started already. The spring game's coming up here in about a
Joe,
month.
what's the starting quarterback's name? Okay, Juju.
I'll be honest with you. It's Juju Lewis.
After
but,
that,
but,
what do you
but
know?
let me just say
Anybody
this.
else you know?
Well, let me just say this. I don't think you could ask Troy Rank to name 20 CU Buffs right now.
Oh, no, I couldn't do that. I don't cover it enough.
Because here's the deal. They're not relevant right now. Now, this is the other thing when you're coming off a 3-9 season. Look at the sports stories we're asked to cover as journalists. I got the best basketball player in the world, the best hockey player in the world. I've got a baseball team that's I think is going to be very interesting this year.
We owe it to
we have the hold on. Let me finish. We got a football team that's 14-3. Where are they at in the pecking order? I mean, I think the women's soccer team literally might be ahead of them. Yes, they had a record crowd last night. Look.
No, I get it.
I'm just saying they're not relevant right now. They're 3-9 and they're a Division I football team in a town loaded with superstars.
How many coaches have we covered? Darrell,
5, 6. I mean, I'm just saying, look, he's lost the luster. He had it a couple years ago. It's gone. He needs to do what everybody else does and climb the ladder one peg at a time. Quit looking for the quick fix and go back in the kids' living rooms and go try and find. Well, I'm telling you what he needs to do. I'm not saying he is doing it. He needs to start recruiting high school seniors again and bringing a culture to the University of Colorado that isn't Little Wayne coming in concert.
Bill McCartney went to Compton.
That's not going to fly for a long-term thing.
Went to Compton and grabbed the enemy.
Right. Detroit, Michael Westbrook. He went to you. Yeah. He went to. But what I'm saying is, he got these kids at 18 and 19 years old. Troy, we got to run, man. We could talk to you for 3 years, but you are the best in the business. Love you, man, and please continue to stay healthy. As the Nuggets and Avalanche are going to be, we're going to need you down the stretch. I get the feeling both these guys are going to be in for some exciting playoff series.
Looking forward to it. Take care, guys.
The great Troy Rank. Follow him on X at Troy Rank. Alejandro, you killed it as usual, man. You got an incredible connection, man.
I just get upset, man.
You got incredible.
I get upset sometimes. I get passionate about.
Look, we all do. We all do, man.
Sports are, man.
Let me just say this: the University of Colorado is not
about CU right now.
It's not where we need to be. But we got Tony Thompson.
Right.
He's chiming in from the chat room. We're going to be him in about 2 minutes. Come on back to the final word with Joe Rico and Alex Ramirez. We'll wrap it up live from number 38.
Welcome, everyone, to Folsom Field here in Boulder, Colorado. Right now is the epicenter of college football.
I'll never forget, never, Ralphie running out and around the field.
Boulder is always a scene nowadays.
And I looked at my dad and I said, Dad, I want to play here.
There's so much history on this field.
Just electric. The whole place goes wild.
It gives me the chills to be able to come back here and be a part of something great.
My name is Anthony with Plunge Plus Plumbing. We've been in business for 16 years. We service from Longmont to Castle Rock and everywhere in between. We specialize in service work, underground sewers, water heaters, drain cleaning, faucet repair. If it's in your home, we fix it. We also ensure that our customer service is top notch and customer satisfaction is our utmost priority. Our motto is honest service, honest price. We're not going to sell you a bunch of stuff that you don't need or that you don't want. We'll just take care of the issue at hand and be on our way. Most of the time we can get there same day. If you need plumbing, give us a shout. 720-434-5832. Or you can reach us on our website at plungeplus.com. We are proud sponsors of The Final Word.
My name is Sadie Leffel, and I'm the owner of Grease Diva Garage, and we're located in Frederick, Colorado. What makes us unique from other automotive repair shops is that we are woman-owned, we're locally owned, we offer car care classes for women, and we really are truly a car care center. You can get everything you need for your vehicle right here. Here at Grease Diva Garage, we believe in excellence, integrity, and education. We just happen to be great mechanics. We specialize in classic and vintage vehicles. We have the tooling experience to do everything from engine mechanical all the way through body restoration on all makes and models. So in order to come into Grease Diva Garage, there's multiple ways you can get a hold of us. Through our website at greasedivagaraage.com. You can email us at greasedivagarage@yahoo. You can give us a call at 720-731-3000. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram. Multiple ways to get a hold of us. You can make an appointment online as well. We are proud sponsors of the
With millions of page views every year, ColoradoPreps.com is the #1 source for the high school sports community to keep up with the latest news and scores. From football and volleyball to basketball and softball, ColoradoPreps.com provides a year-round hub for coaches, friends, and family to stay connected to their favorite schools and athletes, and keep an eye on their rivals. Covering high school sports from the peaks to the plains, you always get the latest at ColoradoPreps.com.
We are back. Joe Rico, Alex Mears, live from number 38 Selection Sunday. That'll get started in about 5 hours. No Front Range teams will have made the playoff or made the tournament other than the CSU Lady Rams. But a team that is expected to make the playoffs in the National Arena League are Colorado Spartans. Big winners last night, 42-12. Over the Bulls, and I'm going to tell you, we are lucky to have the owner of the Spartans, our good friend Tony Thompson. Tony, good morning to you. And hey, a big victory, 12 points given up in an arena game. That's incredible defense. Talk a little bit about a big performance and a much-needed victory by the Colorado Spartans, and thanks for making time for us.
Yeah, no, we just actually got back in Denver, and so that was. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah, well, you're great.
You sound great, man.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. No, yeah, it's a much-needed victory to get back up on the top of the things after the first game, but it was nice to come out swinging, and I think we were 29-0 at halftime or something like that, so it's kind of cool to get back on track.
We did see that, Tony, man. You know what, man? I am so fired up, man. That first game, it was kind of like, hey, you know what? Let's, maybe we were reading our own headlines, and now we're ready to rock and roll. And you guys got the team, you got the coaching staff, you got the horses. And last night in Texas, you guys really showed up and showed out, man. And I'm so proud of you guys. I watched the highlights, and listen, man, this is awesome. It's a great feeling when you guys are coming back home with the big dub, right, Coach?
Yeah. It's what people don't realize is that we actually had 3 starters out last night.
Oh,
People
really?
don't even realize that.
Oh.
Yeah, three offensive starters. If you look closely, Steve Newbold actually played both ways the entire game, and so
you last night.
Say that again.
He's playing some DB.
He's playing some DB.
Yeah, he got an interception as well. So
that's a playmaker right there, man.
He's a playmaker for sure. But it was cool to get the victory. We needed to get that one to get back on track. We got a tough one coming up this weekend. Or we got a bye going this week, and then we come. There's a team that joined our league from another league called AF1, and they're Salina, Kansas, and they're always difficult to play. And so in that league, they made it to the championship in that league. It's an old arena football league. They revamped it, but they came over to our league. Very, very difficult to play. They've been together for 20 plus years, and so no one has seen them play yet. So that's what's going to be fun about that game. They had a preseason game, and then next week, this upcoming Saturday, they'll have their first actual regular season game. So we're pretty excited to see them in action. But we gotta make sure that we're the #1 ranked team throughout the season.
Well, let's talk about your quarterback. It's big news, right? I mean, Paxton Lynch, I even saw some NAL coverage from other teams promoting the game from the Dallas perspective. And they even had Paxton Lynch as the promo saying, hey, it's going to be a tough game, former NFL guy. And they had a whole little write-up on him. I thought it was pretty cool.
They did. It was pretty cool.
I think I think he's bringing a different kind of notoriety. He's definitely the most well-known Spartan I've ever seen at this point. Talk a little bit about his performance last night. I mean, 42 points, even that's a little low. That was a lower scoring arena game, but typical for early in the season, right?
Yeah. As we try to figure out things on offense, we're opening up the playbook a little bit. But, so what's fun about Paxton is that everywhere we've gone so far in the past 2 weeks, I get it. He's a former Bronco player, especially the first week in Pueblo. What's crazy is after the game to see how many people want to take pictures and videos and get autographs with him. So we were down in Pueblo. Even though we were on the wrong side of the win-loss column, he still had, 25 yards long of people that lined up to take his autograph, get his autograph and picture.
Wow.
And it's just crazy to see. And I get it, we're in Colorado, but all the people that brought their Lynch jerseys out and stuff, and it was just kind of cool to see. But I think that helps the NAL overall. And I hope it opens the doors for a couple other former NFL players that thought, I don't know if I want to play arena football. I think it definitely opens that door up. But what's even like what's great about it is that the marketing side of it, people are like, oh, Paxton Lynch, I know the name. And so I just can't wait till we get back home on April 11th, our first home game. And I can't wait to see the crowd that first night. I think it's going to be electrifying that first game.
Absolutely, against the Amarillo Warbirds, the Coliseum is going to be freaking awesome. Listen, Tony, you listen to Tony Thompson, the owner of the Colorado Spartans. So we were supposed to have Coach Shaw on last weekend. Obviously, he texted us and he was like, "Hey, man, we got to do some serious
team meeting.
We got to do some film study." And he wasn't able to come on, and I understand that, and we totally get that. What was the message that Coach Shaw said to the team for this coming up week on the road again, and for you guys to put a whooping on that Bulls ass last night? What did he say? What did he say? What was the message? I mean, you guys had the talent. You guys got the horses. I mean, that offensive line could be playing in the NFL, man. You guys got some
huge
you
line.
guys got some monsters.
Yeah. So what happened was, I think what happened is our first game, we had guys that were comfortable, right? And we keep saying we're the best. And I think the problem with that is that you don't chase anything. And we scored some points for sure, but we made so many mistakes that first game. Like we missed 6 extra points. You know, how does that even happen in the game, right? We were horrible at tackling on defense. You know, we left a lot of points on the field on offensive side of it as well. And we lost by 10. You know, hell, he just put the 6 points on the board. It's a 4-point game. But it's we definitely beat up ourselves that first game. And then a reality check for a lot of people. You know, hey, if you're not going to perform at our level, we're going to find somebody that's going to come in and do it. And so this game was definitely that, because Dallas, you got to understand that Dallas beat a team the week prior 101-0. I don't know if you guys saw that score.
Yeah, I did. I didn't believe it. I thought it was a typo.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it either. I'm like, oh my gosh. So they weren't ready to just lay down and say the Spartans are coming, you know. So it was they're a tough team for sure, but you know, our guys are a lot more focused at the second game, getting that one game under our belt. And then so going into this first bye week, we're pretty excited about just kind of where we're at right now. We still have a lot of mistakes. We left probably 28 points on the board last night.
Is that right?
You know, we had some errors. Yeah, we had some errors on the defensive side of it, but it was it's good to see where we're at. We're not supposed to peak week 1 anyway, you know, but as we continue to grow throughout the season, I'm pretty excited about where we're at.
Well, and you know, I mean, honestly, not only that, Coach Fred Shaw, you know, I mean, he's a veteran, and every time Alex and I talk to him, we come away a little smarter about arena football. And you know, there is the outdoor version of football, but arena is a little different. And I think that he knows some of the things that only happen in the 50-yard war, you know, and I mean, there is a different type of pain that is associated with crashing into the wall, or how to position your body to take a fall, or
he gets it.
Yeah, I mean, he gets it, and he also was a great player. You know, I mean, I didn't realize what a great athlete he was. He actually was his high school retired his basketball jersey about 2 months ago. I'm like, wow, Coach Shaw, he can do it all.
He's
talking about him because he's kind of like I mean, he's the representative for the Spartans, you know, on the field.
Yeah, and you know, I had this conversation with some owners. You know, I won't name the team, but they have 8 coaches on the staff, and you know, that's crazy to me. I mean, it's great to have coaching is great. We're also kind of blessed to have a lot of veteran guys, not guys that are first year in the league, but coach is a one-man band. We got a couple volunteer assistants that come in and help out. You know, I push my guys because I come to practice, but on game day, he's very much, I say he's the field general. He's back and forth, offense, defense, special teams, and he's our guy that leads us in the battle. But, you know, I told a podcaster this last weekend who was down there, he said, hey, I can't get a word in with him. I said, because he cares about winning. Like, you know, during the game, he's probably the wrong guy to talk to during the game, because he wants to focus on winning, not answer questions. Yeah, not answer questions about Paxton and stuff during the game. That's the wrong person to probably ask. So he's very much laser focused on getting the W, and that's all I need him to do, is just focus on that. And so I love everything about how he leads us properly into every single game. we can make some adjustments to help us come out with the victory. And moving forward, I'm gonna say we got a lot more W's than losses coming this way.
No, we understand that, and Tony, what you've assembled as owner of an organization of a National Arena League football arena team. I could see it. I could see the passion that burns in Coach Shaw and the players. I mean, it resonates.
And Tony,
it resonates all the way down to everybody that's playing, even the dance team. You don't call them cheerleaders, Joe. You call them dance team.
Yeah,
right. Just so you know. But anyways, I just want to say, as you see the National Arena League growing and expanding. Like the Pueblo Punishers went in last night and Omaha and beat the champions. Talk about a little bit what you see as a growth overall in the National Arena League, that there were some teams that are expansion teams that are now starting to make a little bit of noise a little bit. It's a good thing overall for everybody, right, Tony?
Yeah. Yeah, but there's a dynamic change for sure from for about 2 years there, Omaha ran the table. And now having a team down in Pueblo that's pretty good. Like, I can't take anything away from them. They're playing a good game. They're establishing some run game and mixing in the pass. Right now, Colorado would be technically on the higher end as a state, bringing arena football to the country.
Okay.
I'd like to think that Colorado right now is making a pretty good statement that, hey, when you play us, that it's a tough crowd to play in. But it's early in the season. I'll say that it's early in the season, and as the expansion teams come along, Pueblo came out swinging. Dallas, they got their loss last night to us, but they're still a tough team. Like that, it's Texas. At the end of the day, they have a lot of talent just sitting around. And so those guys, they have players that come off the bench that could probably play on other teams. And then same thing with Amarillo. When we play them at home, that's gonna be a tough Texas. That's different than saying like Maine or something like that, because there's so much talent in a short vicinity around where these teams are located at, that all these expansion teams are very, very tough. And so I think it's great for the overall growth. And I can tell you right now, as an owner, I won't say too much, but we have more than 10 applications of teams that have applied so far early in this year to join the NAL next season. So, the expansion is looking great.
So it's going to get bigger and bigger. And, I think that what it was to me, coming in every week to broadcast games on the National Arena League YouTube channel with Nick Archuleta. And, I think the first week we had no idea what we were in for. But by week 4 or 5, I was hooked. I was hooked on arena ball. I was ready to, I felt the excitement. I felt the enthusiasm. But this year, I think it's time to feel the noise, right? I think what we want on April 11th, look, man, we're still looking to fill up the Denver Coliseum. We want that home opener where everybody, as you said, we can make a statement for what the Colorado Spartans football team is going to be about this year. Talk to everybody about the promotions. Where can everybody get their tickets? I mean, we're looking to fill that place up as full as we can get April 11th, right?
Yeah, April 11th. Right now, if you have any groups that are listening, if it's a group of 4, we have family 4-packs for $100. That's a really good deal. If you have groups that are 10 or more, if they're 10 or more people, we got great group discounts for only $20 a ticket. And so you guys all be able to sit together. We'll put some stuff up on the Jumbotron, but come support us, because we have so many, what we're doing for the game. I just say we're very much community based. And I just tell people, hey, we just keep building this thing one fan at a time. And then one day we're going to turn around and look back and like, hey, we built something pretty cool here. And so I'm excited to see what April 11th looks like. And if you want to come support us, check us out on social media. It's just Colorado Spartans on Facebook and Instagram. But every single day we share something for ticket links. And so get your tickets today. That April 11th game is going to be a hell of a time.
Tony, you were recently asked to be a guest speaker recently at an event. And I know it was a very deep personal conversation you had. Can you kind of elaborate a little bit on what you talked about? Because there's a human side to everybody. Joey and I have our own you know life issues that we've had growing up, and and I know you got really emotional. I don't want to get you all emotional, Tony, because I know you're a big dude and everything, but we wouldn't be doing a favor to our listeners and our fans and everybody that follows the Spartans and final word of Mile High Sports here. Can you kind of dive in a little bit? Can you a little bit just to say, what were you talking about a little bit?
Yeah. No, what that was it was I was on a panel. I was asked to be a guest speaker on a panel of mental health for athletes. And so Monte Ball, if you remember him with the Broncos, he's quickly become a great guy to know, and he'll be a friend of the team and the organization, a friend of mine. He'll be at some games, but he has put together
Tony,
he's
going through a bad area.
He's just got stuck.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I'll tell you what.
Let's reconnect.
Yeah, let's try and reconnect. We only got about 2 minutes left here on the final word.
2 minutes.
We'll try and get hold of Tony one more time.
No, we only got.
Well, actually, you know what? It's not really us trying to get hold of Tony. Tony will have to log back into the link. We can't just call him up anymore. It's not like the old days. Yeah, he'd have to log back in. So, Nick, do you see him back in the chat?
No.
All right. Well, listen, it's just unfortunate timing, but we do have to end the show. It is time. It's time. But we got only 2 hours, man.
We gotta go, man.
Yeah, we gotta run. That's the big boss, our big man, Nate Lundy. Hey, listen, man, we love you, Nate.
I can't hear myself.
Our thanks go out to our great friend. Yeah, our thanks go out to Bill Foss from Suavecito Tequila, the great Troy Rank from the Denver Post, and of course, our great friend and the owner of the Colorado Spartans, Tony Thompson. We will not be on next week. We have a scheduled off week. Alex and I will be at parts unknown in this country. Tony, you're back. Hey, Tony, we got to run, buddy. We are just at the end of the show.
We got 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Is he off?
No, he's off. He's off, man. Yeah, it's just a tough connection. All right. Catch us in 2 weeks. Joe Rico, Alex Ramirez will be back live for the Final Four show, live from number 38. God bless. Take care.